All right, y'all. Hashtag 40-year-old bully is trending because, 40-year-old bully is trending because Nicki Minaj called out Big Latto's song, Big Energy, for being nominated in the Grammys rap category and not the pop category. And she said Latto should have spoken up in her defense because they're putting Nicki in the pop category. Nicki tweeted, "I have no problem being moved out the rap category as long as we are all being treated fairly." Now, she went on to say, if Super Freaky Girl has to be moved out of rap, then so does Big Energy. Anyone who says different is simply a Nicki hater or a troll. Latto responded with, "I've ignored countless subtweets since March and instead addressed you in the DM. You're asking why I didn't speak up in your defense. It's the same answer I gave you when you asked why I didn't congratulate you. Literally, you're older than my mom, trying to be a bully." Nicki then called Latto a Karen and a scratch off and posted a private message where she turned down Latto's request to collab on the Big Energy remix. Latto fired back and called Nicki a 40-year-old bully, and Latto also posted the recorded call between them about the Grammys. Okay, is Nicki being a bully, Al? And what do you think about this feud?
You know what? I really like Latto. You know, she's such a quiet girl. She's never in no real mess. She minds her business. She's trying to focus on her craft. So this kind of did bother me, you know, and you guys know I like Nicki Minaj, and I think Nicki Minaj in some way feels that she's put in a whole lot of work and everyone else is taking the benefits of it, which I can understand. That happens. I feel like that working in corporate America a lot, but this I didn't like. Don't attack a young artist in the game, and especially another Black female in the game that's just riding in her lane, doing her thing at the time that she's doing it. Just because they changed up the rules on you doesn't mean that everybody has to follow those rules. That's just what it is to me.
Okay, I agree. Q, what do you think?
So let me add some texture to this conversation, right? So number one, Nicki is 100% justified in feeling what she feels, right? If Super Freaky Girl had to be moved to the pop category, Big Dick Energy sampled one of the biggest pop songs ever made. That song should have most definitely been moved as well. Here is where Latto went wrong. Latto got in Nicki's DMs and said, "I agree with you. I agree with you, sis. I agree with you." And that is where the story starts. Well, you agree with me privately, and that's why Nicki then had the expectation of her to say something publicly. I think where Latto shot herself in the foot is by getting in Nicki's DMs, too busy trying to get a feature or pledge her allegiance and be a groupie and say, "I agree with you."
Right.
So I think Nicki, I think you being 40 years old and that girl being in her young 20s, I think it is very far-fetched and unreasonable for a brand new artist who is just entering into the industry for them to speak out in something that is not in their best interest. Okay, that girl, whether they switched up the rules on you unfairly or not, that girl won a Grammy. Now, I didn't know this because I don't follow rap that hard, but I did not know that Nicki Minaj is the Diana Ross of the Grammys. I did not know that Nicki has never, ever received the Grammy, despite the fact that she is the greatest female rapper to ever live. There is a conspiracy to keep Nicki from getting the Grammy. I can totally believe that. We can see it with our own eyes. But baby, Latto is not who you should be taking your frustration out on. It should be the Academy.
You know, I agree with you. I think Nicki should have one, but I do think there is powers that be are working against her. You know what it boils down to, in my opinion, and go ahead, Barbs, go ahead and get your little threats together. It's her attitude. And it's not fair. It's probably not right. But I think that there is a bunch of people that are just tired of the attitude, and they are punishing her for personality things. You know, because she does have the talent. She's had some monster songs. I mean, songs that she's featured on, like Monster, where it wasn't even her song. She ripped that. Like, she was a standout on that song. Got to give it to her. But I think a lot of this goes to attitude and personality. And I think people just kind of get tired of it. And then as a Cardi B, who, Cardi is not as good of a rapper, but she's an entertainer and she's a personality that people like. So people want to roll out the red carpet for her and give her things because she's easy to work with. Now, this coming for Latto, it does look like you're coming for Latto when Latto is a new artist. I'm not going to say, yeah, Grammys, take me out of the category and put me in something harder. Like, who's doing that? Right. Everyone's looking out for themselves, as they should, I guess. But I think this is silly. Now everyone's jumping in and out, and it's just kind of getting really ugly for the ladies in rap.
Yeah. But I think when it's all said and done, when it is all said and done, like Nicki's got to look at this thing optically, and it just looks, because in the real world, 40-year-old women are not canoodling with 22 and 23-year-olds. And the fact that you are engaged in a beef with a 23-year-old, it just doesn't look good.
How about someone put a meme up? It's not even just a 23-year-old girl. They put like 10 girls. I said Nicki Minaj has had beef with all these women. And it's like, it starts to look like, whether or not it's true or not, that you're the common denominator and it's you. You know what I mean? When it's like, if 2-3 people, you're like, all right, misunderstandings. But when it's like every single other rapper except JT, and why should she even clown JT?
Yeah. And listen, I think Nicki is on a mission right now to call out the industry. I definitely think the industry is conspiring against Nicki. We cannot deny the fact that Cardi B was a robot built by the industry to come up against Nicki Minaj, because the powers that be were tired of her reigning for over a decade. And we can also look at them moving her songs as strategy to make sure she doesn't win. They're obviously trying to give Latto that Grammy. Nicki Minaj's song is not going to win in the pop category up against Adele. It's just not going to win. So you can see the conspiracy. But Nicki, all of that aside, I need you to carry yourself like a 40-year-old woman.
And learn something from this. Why is so many people against you? Because of you. Because it's not your talent. It's not that against your talent, Nicki. You are talented. You're actually really, really good. But sometimes I even find myself like, because of the attitude and the antics. Like, don't let the antics, Kanye and Nicki, be bigger than your gifts. And right now, the antics are winning and making you lose. And I hope y'all can get that together, because it's kind of whack. All right.